I was a little special for playing a musical instrument. I put in thousands of hours playing the piano and the trombone. When I was smaller, my parents would ask me to play the piano. Instead, I just played with my toys. So then they would tell me to play the piano. And then finally, they would threaten me. That's when I would practice. Alright? So here I am practicing. I always hated practicing because I just wanted to play for fun. I asked them why I even took lessons if I hated it so much. And they told me, don't you dare talk back to me. So now here I am, a little older, hopefully a little wiser, and still practicing the piano. Now, even today, my question to my parents remains the same. Why did I take piano lessons? Did it improve me in any way? Do I, or any other people that taken lessons, do we have an advantage over people who didn't? That's what I decided to do my SciCan presentation on. Okay, so I decided to do it on the effects of music lessons on the intellectual capabilities of high school students at Massey. So I surveyed 40 or so students first in my band class, and they come from grades 10 to 12, and from all sorts of different backgrounds. And then I decided to question my friends, 40 or so kids who had never played a musical instrument outside of the mandatory instruments in band. So I entered all my data results, and to my disbelief and shock, they were around even with the other students, the people that didn't take music, slightly edging us out by 0.1%. So I was completely devastated. I wasn't sad because this proved I wasn't special, but rather because it meant that my SciCan had no clear purpose. And if my SciCan is meaningless, my life is meaningless because SciCan is my life. Okay? So I was shattered. This led me to believe that playing an instrument didn't actually have an effect on me. So I did the only logical thing, and that's research the connection between music and IQ on Wikipedia. Now, it turns out I'm adept at wiki surfing, which is the sport of going from one wiki to another, because I soon found myself researching the Brunesian Sultanate to the sloth family, Megalonychidae. Anyway, that's besides the point, because I ended up at this one monster of a topic, which is selection bias. Now, what is selection bias? Selection bias is when the population you sample in a survey is not random. So, if you look at this slide right here, if we took the average height of the Americans based on the average height of NBA players, then none of us would even come close, because that would be 6'4". So what does this have to do with my SciCan? Most of my friends aren't enriched, so that means that most of the people I interviewed were enriched. So that means that they were expected to do well on my IQ test. After really reflecting, I realized maybe it wasn't the brightest idea to only interview enriched students from Massey because our academic standards are so high. We have to think critically and enriched. It's like taking a group of scientists for an IQ test. In fact, the only real trend I noticed was that students performed better were the ones who took more time on the test. This isn't a surprise because my test was full of trick questions that were deceptively simple if you actually studied them for a while. Also, in mostly anything, the more time you take on something, the better you do. Now, this whole selection bias thing sounds awful, but in reality it gave me hope. I learned so much just from doing the SciCan with inconclusive results that I know that if I ever do an experiment right, then I'll learn even more. Also, in the short answer section on my test, I noticed that mostly everyone said they enjoyed playing their instrument. This means a lot to me, as it's hard to quantify fun. Even if I didn't prove that us special musicians were any smarter than you sheep who don't play music, I did learn that everyone who does play an instrument does at least one thing they love: play music. In conclusion, I think I answered my own question of why did I take piano lessons? It didn't necessarily make me smarter, but I sure do have a lot of fun playing my instrument. Thank you.